Jeremiah Masoli coming off his best game of the season. Handed it off to Jackson a couple of times on that first possession. They'll get the ball for a second time when we return. You get things going offensively here in the opening 15. There's a flag as Masoli looks down the field, and that one will be complete on the far side, caught by Tim White. And we'll see what this call is. White takes it down just inside the Edmonton 50. First big play of the game here.
Tim White is going to go from depth off this route, and he's going to go deep down there and then just run the out
Offside,
right through the sideline.
Edmonton number 9. The penalty is declined. Result of plays first down.
Yeah, Matthew Betts was way offside, so almost a free play for Jeremiah Masoli. Gets it out there, and Tim White does the rest. Gets a couple extra on his own.
Here for Jeremiah Masoli. He's going to look to the wide side of the field. That's where he's going to throw, looking for Banks, and he's got him at the 15. Banks will take it down to the 10 before he's wrapped up there by Jonathan Rose.
Well, those are two long throws for Jeremiah Masoli. One to Tim White, very similar type play, and this one to Speedy B. And when you're trying to cover Brandon Banks, you've got to give him some room. You've got to give him some cushion. If you don't, he's going to blow right by you. So Jonathan Rose tries to stay in his back pedal, but just can't stay with 16.
24 yards to Banks, and they are in the red zone for the first time this evening. Masoli with pressure coming. Finds some time, guns it in there, complete to the end zone, touchdown! He hammered that in there to Stephen Dunbar Jr., and the Ticats go on top.
Boy, that's a great drive for Jeremiah Masoli, and capped off with what a great throw. He knifes that ball into coverage, and Dunbar comes up with it. That was there in a split second. Watch Masoli step into this throw and just knife the ball, put it right on Dunbar, right in that hole. And he gets across the goal line.
Hoover tried to get there to keep him out. Was not able to get that job done. And a nice drive from Jeremiah Masoli, and mixed in a little bit of Don Jackson along the way. But Masoli, a couple of big chunks, over 20 yards to Tim White and Banks, and then finds Dunbar for the touchdown. Leading Edmonton 7-1. Jeremiah Masoli, 63 yards passing on that touchdown drive, finding Stephen Dunbar to finish the job. And the Ticats lead 7-1.
5-play drive for Jeremiah Masoli. 3 great throws. 27-yarder from deep in the pocket to the wide side out to Tim White. Similar throw to Brandon Banks, the other side of the field, and then he knifes it in there to Dunbar to finish it off.
Doubleheader, 2 more coming your way tomorrow. 2 receivers on that wide side of the field. That's where he goes, quickly getting it in the hands of the playmaker Banks.
When you just finally accept it and say, hey, it's going to happen, let's keep it going. Settle in.
Masoli wants to throw here, and he's got a complete.
He ran into Banks. It wasn't running into Banks, impeding him to get to the ball. Banks was falling away, he ran into him, but the ball hit him before that.
They've taken their timeout on the play just before that, and now they lose one on the incorrect challenge. Masoli's going to go right down there again. This one up for grabs, and he's got it. How's that for an effort? Touchdown, Ticats. Tim White with a second effort hauls it in. Masoli goes right back in that same area of the field, and this time it pays off.
Same route, different guy. Corner route, again, this time it's Tim White. And boy, Jeremiah Masoli talking to us this week about Tim White. He was basically saying we haven't scratched the surface on what this guy is capable of. He was pretty excited. I mean, it was almost like on the Zoom call, his eyes lit up when we started to mention Tim White and what he's bringing to the offense. That's great concentration.
For Tim White right here.
With that corner route, so hard for the safety to come over and help. Jordan Hoover tried to get there to help Moncrief. But boy, if you're Jeremiah Masoli, you're going to take the Tim White, Derek Moncrief matchup in a man situation every time. I mean, Moncrief's a great player, don't get me wrong, but get one of your top slot backs on a linebacker, that's a matchup you're going to try and go after. Tim White, great concentration, took it important. I mean, this is an important game for both these teams, too. I mean, Hamilton's in the race for first in the division.
He said just 2 points back as of right now. Another completion. They go back to Tim White again. Stays on his feet, spinning around, and finally they'll take him down at about the Hamilton 53.
You knew a guy that was getting 3,000 plus yards in a season in his college career at Arizona State was going to be the type of player that would fit well into the Canadian Football League. The wide field, the waggle, the motion. You know, you get a great athlete that can, you know, use that space to his advantage. I agree with Masoli. We're just scratching the surface on Tim White.
First and 10 on the 53. Back to White again, looking for a block, and will eventually. Here's Masoli. Pressure got it away just in time, and another completion.
They would have taken the lead right there, and the entire bench collapsed when that happened. That's how close they've been.
A keeper here for Masoli, and he gets just enough for the first down.
But you know why Aaron Grimes is a great player? Because he's been thinking about that play since it happened. And they got back on the field, and in the very first Jeremiah Masoli throw, he knocked it down on an aggressive play on Brandon Banks to just get that out of that bad memory out of his mind as much as he could. Having a good game so far tonight.
Most experienced member of this Edmonton defense. Does not have an interception this season. He's got 12 in his career. There's another completion on the far side of the field. This one to Dunbar, and he's got some room. Takes it down inside the 50. Dunbar to the 35, where he lunges ahead. And everybody in this Hamilton offense is involved tonight.
Okay, so all the football fans who you hear this all the time, I hear this all the time, to say, why do teams throw this little hitch screen so much? Because this is the potential of a hitch screen. You get some linemen out front to block. You make the catch. As long as enough guys get blocked up, Aaron Grimes is on the backside. He's going to actually be the guy who has to push him out of bounds and save a touchdown for the Elks.
So you're saying when it's blocked as well as it was, it works.
These plays work.
All the way down to the Elks 35. Masoli again keeps it and gets up to the 30th in his first 3 carries tonight. Almost ran for 1,000 yards back in Calgary. Now a deep shot from Masoli, and he's got him! Acklin all the way to the house. Touchdown, Hamilton! Jalen Acklin, first catch of the game, and it's a big one as the Ticats blow this thing wide open. 60-yard strike to Jalen Acklin.
Great work, Andy. Hey,
Jalen Acklin.
Hey, he's the only black boy white boy named Jalen.
Jalen Acklin leads the Hamilton Tiger Cats in targets, in receptions, in yards coming into this game tonight. That's a Hamilton Tiger Cat team with Brandon Banks on it. How you do it?
That's not a part of it?
That's not being tough. That's not how you do it.
Masoli, a completion. Once again, this time to Banks, and Banks drops the ball, but they're going to say it was already down. Back-to-back 300-yard passing games for Masoli. He's almost there again in this one. If you're wondering if he's back, Glenn, I think he's doing all right.
It's just great. I mean, it's great to see. Big win over Ottawa coming in. Over 30 points scored in that. I mentioned off the top, in their last 2 games offensively, they're almost at 1,000 yards in 2 games, and just a great first half for Jeremiah Masoli. Maybe his best half of the 21 campaign.
3 touchdowns. He found Tim White, he found Dunbar, and he found a deep shot, 65 yards to Jalen Acklin. It's Acklin's only catch of the game, but it was the biggest. Really put this thing in full control here for Masoli. 5 targets to his right. Low snap, picks it up cleanly, takes another shot down the field, and that will be complete. Wide open all the way down the field is Tyler Ternowski. And Ternowski with his first catch in the Canadian Football League, and it's a big one.
Yeah, he's just going to feather across here and just from the wide out spot, just a climbing post all the way across. That's that wide out from the wide side of the field. He's coming down in that cross motion and then just slides in behind coverage. Tanoski's playing a little bit for Brandon Banks.
Masoli, 14-20. Has a completion. Ungerer will move it ahead here at Commonwealth, 29-7. Ticats on top. Mazzoli picks it up off a bounce and takes it out past midfield. So not how they drew it up, but it worked anyway.
You know, when you're in the groove and on a roll, that you get these kind of bounces. This was just in the handoff there and pulling it out. Don Jackson kind of grabbed it, it looked like, and Mazzoli wasn't ready to give it to him. So he gets the one hop, gets the outside, gets the edge, and gets the first down.
Coincidentally, they were both against Trevor Harris earlier in the year, who he has since been traded for. A completion here and a